I've seen a lot of bold moves in my life. Armed standoffs, high-speed chases, politicians trying to weasel out of tickets, you name it. But what Karen from our HOA did, that was a new one. She built part of a neighborhood on land she didn't own. Let me explain. A few years ago, my wife and I bought a small, undeveloped stretch of land behind our home. About 2 acres of brush and trees, quiet and untouched. It wasn't much to look at, but it was mine. My plan was simple. Leave it as a buffer from the growing suburb around us. I liked the peace and the privacy. I even put up a modest fence to mark the boundary and posted a sign. Private property, no trespassing. Fast forward to last year, I started noticing some strange activity behind the house. Surveyor flags, concrete trucks, porta potties. At first I assumed it was new development in the adjacent neighborhood, which had been slowly expanding for months. But when I saw a bulldozer rolling across my fence line, I knew something wasn't right. I drove out to the edge of the property and flagged down the site manager. "Hey, can I ask what's going on here?" He pulled off his hard hat. "We're clearing lots 7 through 12 for the new phase of the Pinewood Estates expansion." I frowned. "You're building houses here?" He nodded like it was obvious. "Yup, HOA greenlit it last quarter. Big plans. Luxury townhomes, gated entrances. Gonna raise the property values." I pulled out my phone, opened the county app, and showed him the plat map. "You see that plot right there? That's mine. That's not part of Pinewood Estates. It never was." He stared. "Wait, seriously?" "Seriously," I said. "You're standing on my land." After a long silence, he mumbled something into his radio and jogged off. Within the hour, guess who came strutting over in a pastel pantsuit and pearls? Karen. Karen, the president of the HOA, the self-declared queen of Pinewood Estates. She had the audacity to look annoyed at me. "I heard there's some confusion," she said in that smug tone of hers. "Not confusion," I said. "You're building homes on property you don't own." She waved her hand like I'd said something trivial. That strip of land was just sitting there, unused. It looked abandoned. We figured it was part of the original development plans. "You figured?" "Well," she said, shifting her weight, "there was no fence on the backside, and our records didn't say otherwise, so we assumed it was common land." I raised an eyebrow. "Did it not occur to you to check with the county before clearing it?" She gave me a weak smile. "We didn't think it would be a problem. It's for the good of the community. These homes are going to be beautiful." That's when I pulled out my badge, not to intimidate, just to make a point. "I'm the police chief. I deal with trespassing and land disputes regularly, and what you've done here, without permission, permits, or ownership, is not just bold, Karen. It's illegal." Her face fell. "You need to stop all construction immediately," I continued, "because the next phone call I make isn't to the HOA board, it's to the city attorney." The next week was chaos. Construction halted. The developers were furious. Legal teams got involved. And Karen? She was forced to make a public apology at the next HOA meeting, admitting they'd built a walking path, part of a cul-de-sac, and 2 foundation slabs on someone else's land. Mine. They eventually tore it all out. I didn't even sue. I just made them restore the land and replace the trees they bulldozed. I figured the embarrassment alone was enough punishment for Karen. Since then, there's been a brand new 6-foot privacy fence installed and a big bold sign, "Private property, trespassers will be prosecuted, HOA Karen, this means you." She doesn't speak to me anymore. Peace and quiet has returned to my land. And thanks to Karen's little stunt, it's worth even more now.